Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to you, and congrats to making it toward the end of the week. This is Blair Miller in the Atlanta News First Plus newsroom, and here at ANF Plus, the First Alert Desk. And tonight, excuse me, my voice is a little shot tonight, but it has been a full week, and I know as we approach the weekend here, and everyone getting the weekend started, a lot of focus is on the weather outside, and we have so many events happening around the Atlanta area this weekend, fall festivals, but also right downtown. A number of big events, including the Pride Festival. You saw just our Pride special here that just ran here in the past 30 minutes. But we also have the Making Strides Walk Against Breast Cancer that is taking place here this weekend as well. So we're sponsoring both these events, and they both are very important events. But as we talk about these events happening outside, certainly a big focus is on what the weather is going to be. And so we talk about how nice it's going to be this weekend, but also we've got a cool down coming. And so we'll touch base with meteorologist Cutter Martin here shortly, and he will give us an update on where we stand and what we can look for. But first, here's a breakdown of some of the top stories we're following here tonight.
Ransomware attack, the hacker's entry point, and employee's bad click. A deadly shooting at a Gwinnett County gas station when an argument ends in gunfire. Former President Donald Trump expected in Georgia next week for a town hall Fox News is hosting with an all-female audience. Georgia's Agriculture Department estimating a $6.46 billion economic impact on our state from Hurricane Helene. Gucci Mane playing with the Atlanta Pops Orchestra tomorrow. The rapper will perform and talk about his life. The superintendent of Marietta City Schools signing his bonus over to his students. The money will help cover college application fees. Did you see them? The Northern Lights appeared over North Georgia last night. Watch for them again tonight.
I don't know about you, but when it came to the Northern Lights, I heard people saying they could see it here in North Georgia, but I stepped outside last night and couldn't see it. So we'll ask Cutter about that as well here shortly. Another big story we're following is, as we get closer to Election Day, now less than 4 weeks away, a lot is going to happen between now and then. We know the candidates are here spending a lot of time here in Georgia, a key battleground state in this election, but we know that early voting is going to begin here next week in Georgia. I don't know about you, but when you turn on the TV and check out streaming devices or anything, you see constant political ads from both sides of the aisle. And as it kind of clicks down here, one of the questions we've been asking today, what kind of difference do those ads truly make? And our advocates for us looked into that to see how effective these ads really are, and do they move the needle much when it comes to this election? Here's some of what she found.
Hundreds of millions of dollars spent right here in Georgia, and more ads are on the way. Today we spent hours driving to counties both red and blue to talk to voters. Right now the Harris-Walz campaign is outspending the Trump Vance campaign, but spending data shows where they're trying to attract undecided voters. These are the latest campaign ads. Democrats' spending lead is strongest in Atlanta, where they booked $3.6 million more on future ads than Republicans. Republicans' largest spending lead is in Augusta, where they spent about $270,000 more than Democrats.
It's informative. Sometimes.
Georgia will play an important role in the next election. From liberal-leaning counties to more conservative ones, the majority of voters we spoke with say they want ads with more substance.
This is getting absurd, and the American people cannot make a good choice if they are misled.
Negative campaign ads can cause voter fatigue. A 2023 Pew Research Center survey found the majority of Americans feel exhausted or angry when thinking about politics. Political scientist Ben Taylor says attack ads stick with voters longer, but can turn voters against the attacker themselves.
The other thing about negative ad is it plays on some basic components of human psychology.
He says polls remain within the margin of error, meaning they can't be a predictor.
Well, I don't think they're really talking about issues that matter. It's just like, she's an idiot, he's an idiot. Definitely, I'm so sick of it. I'm ready for the election to be over.
Taylor says Georgia's race will be won in the margins, depending on which campaign can get voters out before Election Day. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
And so as we approach Election Day, some key dates ahead that you need to be aware of. So I talked about early voting. That starts next week. That starts on Tuesday if you're taking advantage of early voting. If you're hoping to vote by absentee ballot, those you need to request one by October 25th and then return it in the mail or send it back in. You have to do that before polls close, actually on Election Day, which Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th, and certainly all eyes will be on that as we get closer to that. Let's take a live look outside if we can. It is just gorgeous out there. It's felt gorgeous out there. I'm going to bring in meteorologist Cutter Martin. I know people around here today, when you all were talking, that we could get into the 40s next week. People are kind of freaking out about that, but I think it's amazing.
Well, some
The
people are
northern blood in
excited.
me loves that. you know?
Yeah, some people are excited. Some people love summer. I like change.
Yeah.
It's
It
changing.
feels like real fall.
Yeah,
you know?
and the leaves are starting to change. I
Yeah,
think. A little bit.
A little bit.
And I was up in Chattanooga, 100 or miles or less from us, and it was really changing up there. So I think
Really?
we're on the cusp of big change.
Okay. Northern
Temperature-wise
Lights.
and leaf-wise.
People were, I don't know who was seeing this last night.
Actually, I know people even down in Florida. But it's all, light pollution is a huge issue, and it's so light. Now, granted, when we had them in May, we saw them here at the station
Yeah.
in the middle of the city. But it's very particular. Some areas see it, some don't. Hard to forecast, and did not see it last night here.
I don't know. Some people were
But-
sending us pictures. I was like, I'm not sure if they've been
Yeah.
doctored.
Yeah.
But-
they've been witch doctored.
But another chance tonight, maybe not, right?
Yeah, a lower chance, but it's not impossible. The further north you go, the darker it is, the more likely you are to see it. I got brilliant photos in from Lumpkin County, for example. So really, those rural spots,
I'll let you take it over.
the best. Yeah, and the good thing is we have a mostly clear, in fact, a completely clear at the moment sky. So if we do see any northern lights, you will too be able to see those, and that is, of course, good news for the stargazers out there. It is a unique thing to see, and of course, very rare to see two instances of the northern lights, the aurora borealis, using the scientific term, this far south in 1 year. I mean, it's rare to see it at all, but especially when you consider that we've seen now two. This would be our second episode in a year. In fact, less than that, really 6 calendar months or so. So it's really a spectacular thing, amazing opportunities. But yes, unfortunately, some did not see the northern lights, the aurora borealis. There's a slim chance you could catch it tonight, but I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. If you're up north, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, Northeast, probably will see it again tonight. But for us, a little bit unlikely, or more unlikely than it was last night. Again, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Thankfully, good news, forecast-wise. Nice weekend ahead, and as Blair was talking about, we have First Alert Weather Day. Next Tuesday is a day of change. So changing the short sleeves for the long sleeves, the shorts for the jackets and the sweatpants, but no huge issues. It's going to be brilliant weather, no problem, but it will be much, much chillier. In fact, 30s, could be some frost even, and some of our kind of outer metro communities, North Metro on up into the mountains as well. And even out there this evening, temperatures cooling very quickly, now back into the upper 60s in the city of Atlanta. It's a cool and dry Saturday evening across North Georgia, Metro Atlanta included. Look at LJ, already down to 54, already down to 59 in LaGrange, upper 50s Covington, Griffin, Eatonton, 58 in Helen. And again, you get closer into the city, we have all of that pavement. We're in the upper 70s this afternoon, all that sunshine. The pavement acts kind of like a rock, hold on to some of that warmth, kind of like when you put a dish in the oven. It takes a while to cool down, and it can certainly warm up the atmosphere, the air around that hypothetical pot or pan or whatever it is that you have in the oven. And for us, it's going to be all that pavement that is kind of hanging on to some of that warmth and keeping things just a little bit milder inside the city this evening, but still comfortable. Temperatures, again, back into the upper 60s, even down in Griffin, mid-50s already. So it's cooling off outside of the heart of the metro. Thanks in big part to a clear sky. Again, this is another live look outside for you. This is in Marietta Square. It's absolutely gorgeous. Folks out on the square, going to dinner, having fun. Big events on the square as well coming up this weekend. I believe it's Chalktoberfest up in Marietta this weekend. Light breeze, temperature a degree cooler than yesterday evening at the same time. This morning, lower 50s in the city of Atlanta. Some right around 50 flat outside of the core of the city. So we are setting ourselves up for a pretty cool evening and what I would call, borderline chilly. Start to our Saturday, hour-by-hour forecast. Again, temperatures back in the mid-60s in Atlanta by 9 p.m., upper 50s by midnight. I would say low to mid-50s, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, lingering into the 8:30 time frame, and then temperature is going to be warming up pretty quickly overall. Low temperatures, coolest north of Atlanta, going 43 in LJ, 47 Helen, 52 in the city. Upper 40s, mid to upper 40s, just about everywhere else. Maybe a milder spot there in Hall County, Gainesville. Your forecast low, about 50 degrees. Keep in mind the normal low for Atlanta is 57. We're going 52, so that is cooler than average. And it's been a while since we've had a stretch of cooler than average, mornings and afternoons. And technically this afternoon we were right around average, but I think tomorrow morning starting a bit cooler than what we would typically be for an October 12th morning low temperature. Upper 50s by 9 a.m., lower 70s by noon. A stunner of a day tomorrow. Of course, you can head on out to the Pride Festival in Piedmont Park tomorrow. Atlanta News First will have a booth. We would love to see you, say hi, talk weather, talk news, talk everything Atlanta and beyond, and the weather will be gorgeous to do just that. Want to remind you, though, I know it's going to feel nice. I know we're talking fall, and the sun is, setting earlier and earlier, but the sun angle during the afternoon is still high enough easily to give you a burn. And I know it doesn't feel hot, so you're not reminded as much that you need to wear sunscreen, but a good idea to apply and reapply tomorrow. There's going to be so much sunshine. Would not take much to get a sunburn tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be a gorgeous day. Again, a chilly start. We'll call it a milder afternoon. I do think temperatures a couple of degrees warmer than we were today, maybe by 1 to 3 degrees max. After that chilly start with full sunshine, no rain chance, low humidity, and a light breeze, it's going to be really, really nice across the area as we get into our Saturday afternoon. In fact, Saturday and Sunday warming trend. So Saturday afternoon warmer than this afternoon, Sunday afternoon warmer than Saturday afternoon. So the warming trend is kind of ruling the headline, the weekend weather headline. Not a warm, overly warm or anything like that sort of weekend. Nonetheless, it will be a little bit on the warmer side compared to the past couple of days. Again, high temperature is a little warmer even outside of the city of Atlanta. Rome 81, LaGrange 80, Eatonton 80. 79 Thomaston, mountains in the mid to upper 70s, so we're back on the other side of average, back above average by a couple of degrees as we get into tomorrow afternoon. But with low humidity, that breeze, sunshine, and a weekend really ruled by outdoor events, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous if you're trying to get some yard work done tomorrow. It's going to be very, very nice. No issues across North Georgia or Metro Atlanta. Some changes as we get into Sunday and Monday. The winds are going to kick up just a bit, and of course that is ahead of our big cold, using that word a little liberally, cold front moving back in to North Georgia as we get into Monday evening, Monday night, and into our Tuesday, I think, is when you're really going to start to see the difference across North Georgia, and I should say feel the difference across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta with much cooler conditions moving back into our neck of the woods as we get into Monday evening, Monday night, and then especially Tuesday. You're going to be feeling it. One more event going on at Atlantic Station. This is tomorrow morning. The American Cancer Society making strides. The walk to fight against breast cancer. Temperatures in the upper 40s, lower 50s to start. Atlantic Station in town, probably just warmer than 50 degrees. And, of course, Tracy Hutchins, many of the Atlanta News First, much of the Atlanta News First team will be there. And it is going to be gorgeous. That warm-up starts at 8, walk starts at 9. And, of course, there will be after events after that walk leading up to about the noon hour. And it'll be stunning. Temperatures warming up, chilly to start. Maybe dress in layers, jacket initially, and then warming up as we get into the late morning, afternoon hours. All right, first alert weather day, as we talked about for our Tuesday, big changes on the way. Strong front, little batch of chilly air is working its way out of Canada, or will be, and bringing much cooler air back to North Georgia and really the entire southeast, the mid-south, Ohio River Valley, northeast, New England, the mid-Atlantic, all of those areas. Treating much, much cooler. Here's that first alert 7-day forecast. Temperatures warming up through Sunday afternoon. We start to cool down Monday. So, yes, a drop in temperature, but the real kind of, I wouldn't say shock to the system, but borderline shock to the system as we get into Tuesday, a first alert weather day. Cooler out the door with a breeze Tuesday morning. You'll want a jacket. And then only warming to the 60s Tuesday afternoon. It will feel chilly. It will certainly feel fall-like. Mid to upper 40s Wednesday morning. Lower 40s Thursday morning in the city. That means upper 30s a possibility, even in the metro outside of the perimeter. And certainly North Metro communities on up into the mountains, 30s. And with a clear sky, lighter breeze by that point, gardeners could be a little bit of frost out there. And it's possible some of our highest of elevation mountain communities could approach freezing. So for those late summer kind of annuals that are still tagging along, not having too many issues, if you want to keep them, though if they're annuals, you're a gardener, you're probably not going to keep them into fall and certainly not winter, but you would want to protect those. And the really sensitive vegetation, highest of elevation communities, up in Rabun County, outside of Clayton, Fannin County, near and around Blue Ridge, you may want to keep those covered. But yeah, certainly a much cooler trend in the first alert forecast across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Want to remind you, we are streaming tonight, newscast starting at 10 p.m. I'll have your first alert forecast then as well, and then back on Atlanta News First, WANF at 11 p.m. That 10 o'clock hour will be on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate. You can always get an updated look at the First Alert Weather app if you're on the go this evening. So many getting out and about. In the First Alert Weather app, current temperature, hour-by-hour forecast, all of that is right there for free in the First Alert Weather app. Just search Atlanta News First or First Alert Weather in your app or Google Play Store. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. Going to leave you with a gorgeous view of Midtown Atlanta. That's downtown there in the distance. Get outside this evening. Enjoy everything that this evening has to offer. Do grab a jacket, though. A little cool out there this evening, and it will be chilly tomorrow morning.